Game number 1, Team Wa against the flipping Mafia. And, well, we already had one change from the lobby to the game. And if you look at the players, you might have spotted it. Ultralisk is not playing. Instead, it is Gia that is currently subbing in for the red team. Because we started the game and then Ultralisk disconnected. So his internet is back to its old shenanigans. We already had some problems in the past tournament. And, yeah, that's why we had to restart. And now they're playing with the sub player. The draft is obviously the same. On the left side, Farland on Zul, Nenopi on Sylvanas, Shamzik on Brightwing. We got X-Ray on Anubarak and Bishops, our X-Factor player here with Zeratul. On the right side of the map, Dequaz on Blaze, Zelia on Malfurion, old school, Dino on Tychus, Masquerade on Jojo, and Gia is playing Zagara. So, pretty cool. I enjoyed the lineup of the red team a lot. I think they have a fantastic setup here. Then again, at the same time, you also have the Zeratul on the other side. And if played well, Bishops could murder them. So Zeratul is a bit of the next factor here. Obviously, with the Nubarak, the blue team wants to be aggressive, but the draft that we see for the red team is quite strong. It comes down to Zeratul a little bit and what he can do against Zagara, against Malfurion, and of course Tychus, but especially Zelia on Malfurion is going to be pretty difficult to deal with. So he's already trying to put the pressure on him, and he's not alone. They want Zelia, and they're likely going to get him here. That's first blood. Nicely done. Can they get out without losing anybody, though? It seems like they can, and yep, the grenade hits, but Nenopi doesn't go down, so Malfurion just gets ganked up on, and that's a good start for them. Now the creep spread isn't really too shabby either. Gia's already doing a decent job there, and the creep 2 must have now be taken down. We have 2 stacks on the Laws of Hope. Great talent, of course, if you want to have some self-sustain on Jojo, and that's what she's aiming for. We're going to see him try and go for those regeneration globes whenever possible. And you get a fair amount of self-heal in, which also takes pressure off your healer, obviously. So, well, with this, we have our little choke point set up here. Shamzik has to be really careful, and Brightwing makes it out, but the rest is already getting zoned away from the camp, and that results in Team Wa coming in and stealing it away. Now, obviously, when you look at the lineup for the blue team, there's a couple of things that we definitely have to point out. It's not only the Zeratul pick that is really noteworthy, but also Zul is in play again. And that's something where you are trying to get enormous pressure on the side lanes, because Zul has incredible wave clear that he can use to just murder the minion waves and then apply pressure to the opponent's team and force them to eventually retreat and deal with those waves, and maybe also make them lose a bit of experience, even though these days sloppy rotations are not as punishing as they were before because of Blizzard's experience globes that they introduced into the game and the numbers that they're using for them. But either way, that's the idea behind Zul oftentimes. We have the bigger they are in play. Oh, and Bishops! Oh, Shamzik with the save! That could have been a kill against Zeratul, but they are keeping him alive. Brightwing with great timing. Bigger they are, of course, in. Talking about keeping people alive. They're going to try to keep Farland alive too, but that might backfire, especially with Zaya laying down the lawn here. Coming in, and nearly the drop on Zul, but he's surviving, and Masquerade is instead the one that might find himself in trouble here, and indeed he goes down. Johanna is dead, quickly eliminated. Blaze has already taken some control over the top lane, though. Dequaz is doing his thing here. But with Sylvanas, the blue team is just saying, well, take it. We don't give a shit. You can take the top Punisher. Be our guest. We are going to take down the bot lane a bit. So the whole thought process that we are seeing from the flipping Mafia is that they are trying to get pressure done at the bottom of the map. Obviously, they're going to suffer the consequences at the top. But as long as they do some work down here, they will find themselves in more or less a similar, if not the same position. So it's actually a really nice play if you have Sylvanas or a very push-heavy setup. 2 kills to 0. Blaze is still working on it. They delayed that slightly. But that gives more and more time to the Mafia to take down that bot lane. And they're even looking for maybe a potential kill on Dino? Not quite. But minion wave after minion wave is moving in, and they need to defend against this. I mean, look at the fort. It's already down to nearly 50% HP. And up at the top side, the question is still, can Team Wa really do as much damage? Structurally speaking, that's kind of what you're trying to do right now. So it's a really nice play that we've seen in the past. It's something that can be pretty cool, and they're attempting to capitalize on it as much as they can. Now, the lead on the objective is enormous, and they don't want to give up on the bot lane completely, so they're starting to take the camps here too. They're delaying the first objective quite significantly, but the push power continues. The Mafia rotates into the mid lane with their 3-man and is again taking the gate down and putting enormous damage on the towers themselves. Now, the objective has been taken, and this wall has taken at least some damage too. Therefore, the rotation, there's the jump over, and it's all a question of how well they can defend now, because that's what this is all about. And Team Wa, they need to try and catch up on this, especially with Zul still being at the bottom of the map. He can try and put more pressure onto the fort, but there it is. That fort is going to go down. Nicely done. Pushed them past the structure, and everybody had to retreat here. So job well done. 2 kills to 0. We can now get 11 stacks also on Zeratul, who's sitting here with the Shadow Hunter on level 1. Yeah, nearly a completed quest for Blaze, by the way. There it is. Quest completed. 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. And they've already done some more damage in the mid lane, including, by the way, the Fountain, which they already took out earlier. You can obviously always cheese when you steal the opponent's camp away, and that's exactly what they did. Damage output with the 12,000 for Tychus. Dino's looking good here. They got the early level 10 coming up too. And they want to invade again. Full control over the mercenary camps for them. I like it. They're doing a great job on that. It's good control. But they're still level 10 now. But they might even lose this one. I don't think so though. Because they're now moving in with heroic abilities themselves. And they're trying to go for Dino in the back. Here comes Odin. That one was forced quickly. The camp, by the way, still up for grabs. And it looks like X-Ray might take it. It's going to be a battle over the camp. X-Ray is about to claim it, and at the same time, the kill against Zagara. Zag is down, and they took the camp. So this couldn't have gone much better for the Mafia in that situation. Not only did they prevent the camp from being stolen, they locked it in for themselves with the help of X-Ray, and they got the kill against Zagara, which now leads us to 3 kills to 0 in favor of the blue team. That's a good start. Masquerade's here, also taking some damage. Again, he died once earlier. 17 stacks for him, by the way. 17 stacks, that's pretty good. Masquerade is already at 17. This is a great start for a lot of self-sustain on Johanna in the later stages of the game. Even more pressure down here now. 3 kills to 0 also translate into a half-level lead. And Bishops is already looking at Gia and saying like, hey, if I got a chance, you're dead. So, yeah, our little Zerg Queen needs to be a bit careful here. It's actually impressive, I gotta say. The Mafia, they're making Team Wa work for it. But the red team has played fantastic in every single tournament that they participated in, so you shouldn't really count them out here. Obviously, with level 10 abilities in, this is going to change the pace of the next objective a lot. And yeah, we'll see what they can do. 3 kills to 0. There we have it. Bot lane, Zul, he's still rotating, still putting the pressure on, hoping to take down one of the forts eventually. 15,000 damage for Dino's Tychus. We got 12,000 for Sylvanas, and Inopi is moving slowly back. And they're locking Nubarak down. The attempt was there to steal the camp away. X-Ray has to burrow charge out, which puts him on cooldown, of course. And he is getting attacked here once again. Even with the engage attempt from Jojo, he might be in trouble. Brightwing with another blink heal. They keep X-Ray alive. Everybody is here. Bot lane gets attacked by the minion wave. So yes, more damage on the fort. Maybe he's not going to fall, but definitely the hit points are going down. And look at Zul. Zul is rotating bot side. He wants the structure. He says, hey guys, if we can get a free fort, let's do it. So he takes another minion wave down and forces a rotation from Team Wa. And the lead in experience translates into a talent advantage. So they're looking better and better here. The macro game that they are playing is working for them. Bot lane is under more pressure. The fort is about to be destroyed. Over here, they're starting to take control over the shrine too. The extra level 13 is helping, but the red team is still committing to it. They're coming in with Odin, and they are trying to take control here. There's again lockdown against Dequaza. Zeratul is moving topside a little bit, but it's just way too much. Odin is doing work here. 31 to 15 stacks. They want the kills. They're coming in with Sylvanas. Here's the Tranquility. Self is jumping in deep. They want Gia. The Maw saves her. Zagara was about to die, but they keep her alive. And what a fight. Now the blue team, they are in trouble. They're trying to retreat without losing anyone. It seemed for a few moments as if they were the ones getting the kills. And just shifting the game completely. But then the Maw saved both, and now they lock in another Punisher. Now at the top, Blaze has to go for the defense. At the bottom of the map, the fort still stands, so there's no additional catapults here. Zagara on 13 with a protective coating here. The extra armor is going to make it very much... yeah, okay, the extra armor didn't mean anything in that particular encounter. And Zelia dies too. So that's 2 that they were able to eliminate here. And the problem, of course, that comes with this is that now that objective push is more or less meaningless. So 5 kills to 0... It's not really what I expected after the draft. I gotta say that the blue team is playing a great game here, and Bishops is dancing around them with the Zeratul time and time again. And they're looking for even another kill. I don't think they can get their Quasar. Well, there's a polymorph. Zeratul had to jump back out. Sylvana, and they get him! They dive deep, and they take him. They lost the fort in the mid lane. Now they're trying to repay the red team in kind as they're dropping the one in the middle. But what a setup here. Yeah, this all again started with our little fight, as you can see. So at that point, they made the play for Zagara. She got chased and they dropped her. And after that, they moved in for Zelia, took him out too. They are a level ahead now. They steal the camps. I am really impressed by the blue team. I honestly didn't think that they would be able to do this well on this first map. So yeah, big shout out here. Looking at the damage output, we currently got 25,000 for Sylvanas, 27,000 for Tychus. And I mean, think again on under what circumstances they actually set this all up. Initially, they were the ones dominating the fight. Then Gia's Maw with Zagara turned it more or less against them. And they brought it back as they are defending against an objective 2. Now the red team is moving in. Nice. The root attempt from Zelia. And now Zeratul is moving in again. The fight turns against the team. They lose Zagara. And they still make the play here against the bunker. It's a 5 versus 4. The bot lane is getting pushed. Bishops has to be careful. He's a bit low on his Zeratul, but they are put into a corner here. They're literally in a corner. They're losing Dino. Here comes Masquerade with a falling sword, but they're all in trouble and they are likely all gonna die. Their Quasar is dead. They want to go for the 5-man team wipe. And they get it. What a performance here by the Mafia. Unbelievable. Against Team Wa, again, one of the best teams that we currently have in these qualifiers. The team that I had picked as the potential winner for qualifier number 6. That's how good they are. That's how dominant they were throughout the last few tournaments. Especially with the Hardos not playing here, they were the huge favorite. And I guess to an extent they still are. But in game number 1 of this semi-final, the Mafia is showing them who's boss. The Mafia is, I mean, again, they're controlling the entire map. The creep spread is currently being denied here too, as they are making sure that there's not too much vision granted to Zagara and her folks. We got the corrosive saliva now in. But yeah, this is pretty impressive. But they haven't won yet. They took every single fort out, but they themselves only hold 1. They have a 2-level advantage. That's the biggest thing that they have going for themselves here. But you still need to, of course, win the game. And they haven't accomplished any of that yet. There's no keep that has been destroyed. The level 20 is not going to be available for the next objective, so this can still all backfire. An 11-0 kill count is very impressive, but if the red team all of a sudden wins the next team fight and starts to lock them down, then this can flip very quickly. 30 stacks by now also for Johanna, so even more self-sustain as she gets more heal. At the top side, only 1 camp is pushing. That's going to be huge. That might start to attack. They might be able to do some damage on the keep. Here comes Odin. Bishops in the back, coming in again with the Might of the Narazin. They try to go for Zelia, the stun, and Malfurion is down. The Maw against the Nubarak, Dino in the bunker. How does a fucking Odin fit into a bunker? Are you kidding me? Like, he's dead too. Everybody's dying over here, and they're chasing for more. They want a Quasar, they want Masquerade, and it's the second 5-man wipe. They are murdering them here. 16 kills to 0. And now they're going for the keep. Look at this fight. The first one to fall was Zelia again. They're likely going to go for core at this point. They're absolutely crushing it. They obliterated everyone. Malfurion is back in 15 seconds, but I don't think that's going to matter anymore. They're going for the core, and why wouldn't they? What a performance. What a statement in game number 1 by the Mafia. Absolutely incredible. Level 20 is in, damage output, 150,000 siege for Zul, 46,000 hero damage for Sylvanas. This is game. This is the Mafia with a lead in the semi-final, and boy, what a game and what a victory here on Infernal Shrines.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom! Let's go, guys. Map number 1 was a bit of a beatdown, I gotta say. The Mafia making a statement here. And Team Wa was bullied around for the entire duration of the map. But now we're heading into the second game, and Ultralist seems to be back. I hope that he survives the loading process into the map, though, because if not, I'm pretty sure we're going to look at a free win this time. The blue team already waited way longer than they needed to, and the last time that he dropped, so I hope that everything is fine now, whatever the connection issues are. Gia was subbing in, he was playing Zagara for them, but yep, it didn't go well. Not blaming that on Gia in the slightest, by the way. The traditional focus for the red team, for the blue team, was Malfurion anyways, and Zelia on that end. But here we go. So we got our first ban, and that's Brightwing this time. It's actually kind of interesting that they're targeting that. Now, there's a couple of aspects, a couple of layers to it, of course. First of all, you got Brightwing on the other side. You got Towers of Doom as a map. It's a big map. Brightwing adds a lot of value. But we've seen also Shamzik now lock in Brightwing multiple times. I think this is the third play in a row that we cast. Actually, this is the fourth map in a row that we cast from the Mafia. And in every single game so far, they played Brightwing. Now, the same is also true for a couple of other heroes here. Vala is a very frequent early pick for them. But since they, once again, don't find themselves in the first pick position, we could see them ban her out. And yes, that's exactly what happened. So they ban Vala. They don't want to go up against her, which leaves Zagara open again. So this is pretty much a dynamic. And from the perspective of the Mafia, you're looking at this and you're immediately thinking like, well, we have an option here. We can either ban out Vala, then very likely our opponent is picking Zagara, or we pick Zagara, but then there's a chance that Vala gets picked away and we have to face off against her. And they clearly made their choice. And there were a lot of people criticizing them in the last draft and saying like, oh my god, how can you leave Zagara open, insta-loss and whatnot. But obviously it was bullshit. They were able to take her down, they were able to win the game, and they did really well around it. Now, Zagara gets played again, and again, for good reason. She's very, very powerful, she's super strong, she has a lot of control over the map, provides vision to the team, has a good damage output, her push power on the lane is great. But if she gets targeted, she can get eliminated quickly, and that's where the support then comes into play. For now, we got Anubarak and Dehaka being played again. And Anubarak is something that we've already seen on the last map. Dehaka, he has the global, he can come in, he can try to get the drag connected. And here comes the counterplay. So this time we have Lucio, he can really, really help Zagara out, no matter what he picks as his ult. We have Urel, so you can create some space, which is even more important. Whenever there's an engage made on a specific target, if Urel can jump in and just push them out for just half a second, it gives Lucio more time to react, it gives Zagara some time to move out. So there's a lot that you can actually do with it. And Zelia and Lucio is great. So there's that. But anyways, now we got the ban on Diablo again, so they're pretty much targeting Masquerade with the, at least with the Diablo ban. They did it on Infernal Shrines, they're doing it here too. If you've ever seen Masquerade on Diablo, you know why. But what's the ban on the other side? Are they, for example, thinking about a ban on Lucio? Zagara. Zeratul! I need another coffee. This is not going well. Yeah, the Zeratul play of Bishops weren't bad, and they really threatened the backline. And there it is, the Zeratul ban. Okay. But yeah. Now, there's a few other heroes that could fit that role. But yeah, let's see what Bishops is gonna take. And this is, by the way, a map where Nano P technically could also play as Li Ming. I pointed this out a bit earlier, that Li Ming is a really good hero for him. I mean, you could even go for a Li Ming and Genji setup. If you want to go full-on reset, you could. But Nano P is playing Sylvanas again, so they want to have the option to win late-game fights and then use Sylvanas to push down the lanes and take the bell tower control. Shamzik on Stukov, which is already a big threat. You're following up on Dehaka, you're following up on Anubarak. And Bishops hasn't taken a pick yet, so he's going to be the X-Factor again. Now, when we're talking about X-Factor picks, we're talking Genji, we're talking Maiev, we're talking Karrigan. Those are some of the heroes that you see in that position. But yeah, Ultralisk and Masquerade. The final double pick for... talking about Kerrigan. Varian and Kerrigan. Now, honestly, with that setup, the one thing that I'm missing on their side is either Malfurion or, even better, Stukov to lock the target down even further. But that was definitely a statement that they made just now. Varian, Kerrigan, Urel, and Zagara as the only range damage dealer in the game. Whew. Talk about a spicy and aggressive setup. How's Bishop's going to react on this one now? I think that's definitely changing their plans a little bit. But no, he's still going for that Genji pick. He wants to put the pressure on Zagara. Game number 2, semifinal, everybody. Is it a 2-0 victory for the Mafia? Or is Team Wa bringing it back? Let's find out. Towers of Doom, map number 2. The flipping Mafia in game number 2 starts off on the left side with Farlander on Dehaka. Bishops on Genji, Nenopy on Sylvanas, Shamzik on Stukov, and X-Ray on Nubarak. On the right side of the map, the red team with Ultralisk. He made it into the game, so congratulations. Round of applause, a round of applause. Ultralisk, everybody. Fantastic. He made it into the game. The first hurdle already taken. His Kerrigan can be terrifying, so let's see what he's pulling off here. Dequaza on Urel, Dino on Zagara, we got Zelia on Lucio, and Masquerade on Varian. Now, of course, we're not blaming the last loss on Gia. Again, I talked about this already a bit during the draft, but of course, it's always better when you can play with your normal 5-man, because the coordination is just going to be better, and also the roles that everybody is playing. But the question still remains, is the Mafia able to lock in that 2-0 victory and move on to the grand final and drop the red team into the third place deciders match? Yes or no? Already, heavy aggression against Zelia again. I'm detecting a theme here. That's an early kill on Lucio, and they did the same thing on the first map. They're just targeting Zelia. I mean, normally I would say you're targeting the weak link in the team, but calling Zelia the team link is bordering on sacrilege, so I'm not going to do that. But instead it seems they identified the biggest threat and want to get rid of it. So, yeah, we'll have a look on how this is going to go. But at least in the early game, it's exactly as it did on the last map. Now, we got our first move for the Pumpkins in, and it seems like the blue team is not even thinking about taking their own. They're just saying like, hey guys, let's take this one. And that's likely going to backfire. Here comes Urel. Dehaka needs to come in right now if they want to have a chance here. They lost the camp already. They lost the camp, and now they lose, and they don't lose an Uberak? Really? Shamzik, you beast! But they might lose Farlander. He came in with Dehaka after all, he just came in a little bit too late. So Farlander goes down, the camp is lost, and here's the bad news. Because they didn't take their own camp and they're late, now theirs gets claimed as well. So that's a problem. That's honestly a big problem right now. And yeah, if you really want to take that fight, then Dehaka just has to tunnel in a bit quicker than that. Now, that's not the only problem that they were facing in that last fight, but the timing was definitely off, and they paid the price. Now, they are behind. They are behind by more than half a level, and they're trying to turn it, but a Nubarak goes down. Yeah, that's momentum that you can build with such a killer comp. Varian is coming in. He has his taunt now as well. And yeah, we'll see if they can come back, the blue team. It is Towers of Doom after all. Early game, I don't want to say it doesn't matter on this map, it obviously does. But you can never feel totally safe on this map. You can never say like, okay, we got this now. There's always a chance that your opponent wins a team fight in the late game and then starts to control the flow of the game. And it's even more so true if your opponent runs a composition with Sylvanas, because she enables even more power against those bell towers. But either way, we got the level 4 talents now in. The objective is popping up in another 10 seconds, and then we're going to see the 2-for-1 trade on the altars, if everything goes as usual. Only question is who locks in the 2, and the fight for the bot lane is happening, as we can see here. And Varian is already looking for the next target. Yeah, might be interrupted. Gets interrupted. Top left gets channeled by Dehaka. Genji is interrupting a little bit. And there's the kill against the Nubarak. Nicely done. Zagara complete the channel. Shots are fired. Top side, Dequaza. They might be able to interrupt it a little bit longer than the latest. But at the end of the day, the red team is going to get the 2-1 advantage. And Urel channels it through. So the Space Goat making it work. And ooh, mid-jump drag, not bad. Farlander, look at that. That man has timing. Incredible. So, here we go. Bishops is also in the mid lane, so they're all of a sudden under a lot of pressure. The early game was kind of nice with the kill against Lucio. Here comes the quick taunt. They're coming in against Farlander. Dehaka gets attacked immediately and is getting annihilated there. Varian comes in, taunts him right away and says like, you fuckers were extinct for a reason, go and die again. Dehaka stays too long, gets murdered, and there's that. So that's kill number 4. And it seems that Team War got a little bit angry after being dominated on the first map. So they are bringing this back right here. Full on build again with the Carapace for X-Rays and Uberok. So we don't see him with the Beetle setup that is very, very popular these days on level 1 and level 7. But instead a full on Carapace or throughout all the early talents. Maybe even with a follow-up on 13. We'll see. But down at the bottom of the map, they're coming in for it again. Carrigan, Ultralisk. He had a couple of awesome combos already, and he wants more. Look at Urel, though. Jumps into the backline. He has the taunt against Sylvanas. You sucked as a war chief. She gets super mad, starts to throw glasses and furniture at Masquerade, and gets killed in the process. So, yeah, the taunts of Varian are absolutely on point today, I gotta say. That man knows how to insult an opponent. They nearly got level 10. I mean, guys, we got a dominating performance by the Mafia on map number 1, but it looks more and more like the same might happen here, just from the other team. The creep spread is on point. Dino is getting tumors up everywhere, and that is helping him to keep vision of the entire game. And just look at Zagara. Easy channel, that's 5 shots fired already. They're all connecting. The defense is happening at the bottom of the map. But he attempted a defense, as the blue team is, of course, eager to retake that bell tower. But without level 10 abilities, they won't be able to do that. So that's a problem. And, yeah, desperate attempts to get the experience. It's the only thing that the blue team can do. Yeah, and Uberok gets taunted as well, but that taunt apparently didn't affect him too much. Comes in, says like, you a bug. And then Uberok just comes through, so what? He's fine with it. Exactly. So that taunt didn't do anything. But top side, there we might see a bit of counterplay. Yeah, or maybe not. That didn't work. Earlier it was a fantastic drag that he landed on Urel. This time it didn't happen. But yeah, anyways. Right now, we have another play for the Space Goat. The zoning more is in. Level 10 abilities on both sides. Varian with another taunt. This one a bit more on point. And X-Ray goes down. Yeah. Zagara with the damage, everybody. I don't know what to tell you. She is murdering people. So we have her 12,000 damage, easy top damage in the game, and of course she also chips in a lot of siege damage and can get the lane control with this. So as you can tell, we have a double altar coming up. There's 5 bell towers to 3. Carrigan is still sitting around at the bot lane trying to ensure that they're not losing out on this one. Blue team would love to retake that before the 2 altars get channeled. But this is a potential 10-point setback against the Mafia. Yeah. Carrigan, still protecting it. It's getting spicy. Blue team is doing what they can to move in here right now, but we already have at the bot lane Zagara getting the channel through. The pumpkins, of course, also moving in. That's another 3 potential shots that could be fired here. And yep, there we go. 5 shots. Boom, all connected. Pumpkins are making their way in. That's another 3. This is bad. There's the taunt, there's the combo. Carrigan is fucking them up again, but X-Ray is making it out this time. Or maybe, yeah, Urel couldn't follow up on this. The cocoon on Varian shuts him down for a second, but he is immediately following up with more damage against the Nubarak. They can't get the kill here. It is a total slaughter against the blue team, though. Everybody is dropping low. Zagara doesn't even participate in the fight because she channels the altar. She's gonna get this one through. That means in total, 13 points have been taken off the core. It's 36-14 that we're looking at here. That's a disaster. Level 13 talents, 1.5 level lead. They push through the bot lane. Yeah. Masquerade wants to go for the taunt against Genji. Your mama loved Hanzo more. But he couldn't get into range. Because of the helmet, Genji couldn't hear him. But if Masquerade gets close, you know that insult is going to trigger an attack immediately. Baby! The 3-man more! But they denied the Carrigan setup. God, that would have been such a combo. They're going for X-Ray again, and everybody on the blue team is just suffering. More pumpkins are going to make it through. Maybe not all of them here, but one should make it. No, not even that. Ah, they defend against all of them. Good on them. Genji had to commit to the X-Strike then again. So that's a cooldown burned. 6 kills to 1. And yeah, me likey. Mid lane pressure, Farlander, Bishops all there. Top sides, Dequaza is still controlling this. It's the next talent that they want, and they got level 13 now, so good for them. But yeah, next altar phase is the top left, top right exchange. Here comes the taunt again on X-Ray. Where's Kerrigan when you need her? Ultralisk is looking for the angle, doesn't find it, and just lets it slide for now. Eventually this bell tower should be retaken. So we'll see. 13 to 36 points now. At least it's an even talent battle that we're talking about. By the way, Zagara is playing it safe. Went on level 13 for the spell shield. Chrysalis for Kerrigan, of course. So they're playing it as safe as they can. And the blue team is now in a pickle because they need to be aggressive. And they're trying to do that at the top right as they're pushing in for it. Lucio gets Cocoon. They're trying to open that up quickly. There's the stun against the Nubarak. The follow-up with the Maw. 2 already down. Can they get more out of it? They're trying, but it didn't really work out. Stukov was already in play. Oh, the kill against Sylvanas. And Ultralisk with another combo. They want X-Ray and they are... they are not getting him, no! But they're turning it on Shamzik. And that is the end of Stukov. Genji died too. This is getting worse and worse and worse. Yeah, talking about statements. Game number 1, dominating performance by the Mafia. Game number 2, they're turning it around. And also, Ultralisk is redeeming himself big time for the drops that he had and the bad connection, because his Kerrigan plays are just incredible. He is doing so much work here with one good stun combo after another. Now the bell tower here is prepped for later, so they can take it at any point. And it's an insane position for the Mafia, because keep in mind, they are on 8 points on the core. 8! They might retake the bottom bell tower, but at any point the one in the middle can be taken. So you can't even reclaim it here or anything. You don't have a mule to build it up again. Down here the Cocoon is even hitting Kerrigan, since they're really afraid of Ultralisk combos. The full 5-man is set, and the level 16 talent is giving such a big boost to Team Wa that it's nearly impossible. That double hit! That double hit! And they come in. Kerrigan dies, but so does Anubarak. Everybody's low. The Maw connects, and they are dropping low. I mean, again, every fight if you look at, after a few seconds, the blue team seems to be on half HP and has to move back. Triple shots fired, everybody. That puts the core down to 5. We are 1 altar channel away from the game ending. At least 1 counter kill though. Genji gets Variant. That's level 16 in their hands and maybe an opportunity, but look at the minimap. It's 3 altars that are popping up. All that the red team needs is 1. All they need is 1. Yeah? People always mistakenly say all you need is love. That's not true. All you need is an altar and then you win the game. Always assuming, of course, that they're going to claim this one, because the bot lane is going to be retaken. But Zagara is taking care of it, so now the 5 versus 3 situation is still going strong. And Dehaka is up at the top. They're already zoning Farlander out. He had to go there. He had no other choice. Anubarak is at the bottom of the map. Farlander runs into the stun. He's dead. And so are the hopes and dreams for the Mafia of making this a 2-0 victory. There's no way they're winning this now. Well, can they win all 3? Kerrigan is dead? Yeah, but so is Stukov. So is Sylvanas. Anubarak with a deep dive. Here comes the Maw. And that is the end of the Beetle. Good riddance. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a tie. We're heading into game number 3 as Dino channels. The shots are fired. The core drops to 0. And Team Wa locks in the victory on Towers of Doom to force the 3rd map. Game number 3, the deciding map, everybody. Our semi-final. It continues. The Mafia against Team Wah, the Crybabies. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, so we had 2 very, very different maps. Map number 1, red team got their ass kicked. Map number 2, they got angry and they said, okay, we could do the same thing, and they absolutely destroyed the Mafia. So now we have a 3rd map coming up, Cursed Hollow, and I couldn't be happy about the map choice. There's a Lucio ban. Of the first map, they're already done with that. This, by the way, is changing the situation a bit between the two teams, because the Mafia for the first time is now first pick. And we know what they want to do. They want Vala. And now it will be interesting what they're banning here. Because technically, let's say they're banning whatever. And then the red team does not ban either Zagara or Vala. They're guaranteed to get one of the two. It's always like a little bit of mind games that you have to play with your opponent here. That's also the reason why the Mafia is waiting this long with their ban, because they're currently deciding if they ban Zagara or if they don't ban Zagara. Whether or not they're going to do it, we're going to find out, and there's the Zagara ban. And now, technically, you could ban out Vala. So, that's, again, this is one of those mind games that you have to go through the entire time. Let's say, for example, the Mafia would have come in and they would have said, okay, you know what, we're going to ban Stukov, or we're going to ban Junkrat. And what we would have seen is one team picking Vala, the other team picking Zagara. But as it turns out, Team Y is not really afraid of facing off against the Vala player, so now we have an opportunity for NanoP to get Vala. So far, they've every single time done that. Maybe right now, because of the map, they decide against it, and they pick something else instead, but it's definitely an option. And it's something that has played a role here. In all of the games that we've seen from them today, they were really going for Vala, but those were different maps. And they prioritized the Haka here. They want to have the options of playing a global setup against the opponent's team. Falstad could play a role here too. He's great with the Gust on control for the boss, but also, of course, map control in general. And yeah. It's kind of interesting. You can see how the mind games are going right now. With Brightwing banned out and Dehaka already taken, the red team now has to immediately think, hey, what are we going to do in terms of map control? And they go for Zeratul and Hogger now. Okay, so that they can start hunt people a little bit more. Keeps Falstad, by the way, up, and also potential ban on Falstad. There are not too many globals around. Could go for some pseudo-globals. ETC comes to mind with the stage dive. Not really something we see a lot, but sometimes when a team really feels, okay, we need something, they still bring him. I don't really expect him here, though. But he's an option. He can be an option. Okay. There's Varian and Tychus. Okay, so they're taking Tychus this time. That takes it away from Dino, but at the same time, Dino is already locked in on Zeratul. He could always shift the hero over to someone else, of course, or give Tychus to a different player. Then at the same time, with Tychus, you get, again, the boss control that you oftentimes want. So there's that too. But I kind of like the way that this is going right now. They're pretty much attempting to give the red team a taste of their own medicine. And of course you ban out Stukov here. Stukov and Malfurion are two of the heroes that immediately come to mind when you see the Varian pick. And Stukov is probably the most threatening one, also considering the Zeratul choice. So you ban that out and you take options away and combo options away from the Mafia. But there are still some around. Wouldn't really surprise me if Zelia locked in Malfurion again. That would take another one away. And Nuburak gets banned so that he can't ruin these plays with the Cocoon. But yeah, for me the question is immediately, are we going to see Malfurion? You could go Anduin. You could go for the father-son duel and just make sure that whenever Varian comes in with a taunt, you simply pull the target out with Anduin. That's the other option. Though, well, there's more obviously, but those are the two most likely scenarios that we've seen quite a few times. Karazim! Ooh, very aggressive. Okay. That is not what I expected here. We've seen Karazim a lot on this map. So it's not like, oh my god, they picked Karazim. But I didn't expect that they would go this aggressive on the map. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Now you got, we got Hogger, Zeratul, Tyrael, and Karazim. Yeah, that is a lot more aggression than I expected out of them. When I saw the Varian, I thought, okay, they would try to counteract that by playing a bit more on the passive side, but no. We got Shamzik on the solo heal Uther, and we got Sylvanas in there again. Yeah, I like it. This is a fun one. Okay, what's Ultralis gonna take? I mean, with this you want to go all out on the aggression, right? They don't have a range damage dealer, by the way, and I am not so sure if I want to take one. That's the birdie. Okay, they got the global. The birdie was still up, so they go for him. Yeah, I like it. Judgment, 7-sided strike, hinterland blast. Just wait, it's coming. The Mafia against Team Y, everybody. Game number 3. Let's go. The semi-final concludes here on Cursed Hollow. Flipping Mafia against Team Wa. The series is tied. We're in game number 3. Cursed Hollow on the left side. Falenda on the Haka. Shamsik on Uther. X-Ray on Varian. Bishops on Sylvanas. And Nenopi on Tychus. On the right side of the map, Dainu with Zeratul. That already is a treat. That's something you're not going to see when he plays cross-server on NA. We have Ultralisk on Falstad going into, well, the new build after the recent patch with the Gathering Storm as level 1. Dequaza with Hogga. We got Zalia on Karazim with a standard Talon on level 1. Iron Fists, which apparently to some people is still news that this is the standard. But yes, it is. It has always been the standard pretty much. Tyrael on Masquerade, or Masquerade and Tyrael, the other way around. But yeah, now coming back to Karazim for just a second. When Karazim came out, people have been experimenting a bit with other talents. Lowell was one of the first to use that, and they tried to play Karazim as a melee assassin. But pretty much for the last 4 years, 5 years or so, whenever you see a Karazim, he's played with Iron Fist. This is the standard talent. If you're not picking this one, you're pretty much doing it wrong. So yeah, on the top level of play, that's the only one that you're going to see. Now, with that in mind, we have with Karazim a very aggressive setup here. Now you can dive in with Karazim, Tyrael, and with Zeratul, so they want these kills. They're already putting the pressure on X-Ray and annihilate him. So Varian is down and gets quickly sliced by those sonic blades of Zeratul. The guy needs a haircut in the first place. Varian is pretty much how most people would look after an extended lockdown. So yeah, Varian is going for the Corona look. That's pretty much it. If you look at him, like that's exactly the kind of hairstyle that most of us had. Well, I'm not including myself here. I'm basically talking about all you guys out there. But yeah, either way. So down at the bottom of the map, we got Dino now running around. He's of course not only gonna clip in a bit of damage with the cleave setup, he's already going for cleave on level 1. And the thought process here is to also control the lanes a bit and not only go for the hero kills. But the cams are all taken. And yep, let's get this party started. Because I am very, very eager to see who takes the lead here. The lineup, I thought that it would be aggressive lineup from the Mafia, but boy was I wrong. Because then the red team came in and just said, you want aggressive? You're gonna get aggressive. And I'm very happy about that. So let's see how it plays out. We got at least a global on their end, so that's good for them. They control the map a little bit more. We currently have 1 kill to 0 and a nice push through the mid lane. Sylvanas obviously is helping a lot. There's the taunt. Came in against Tyrael. Yeah, didn't really do too much. This time we don't have the bigger they are on Tychus. We got in the rhythm. And Zalia is already punching. Imagine how... It's the Iron Fist. I mean, he really needs Iron Fist. I mean, that guy is punching concrete. He's literally punching towers. There's a man right there. Same time, another taunt. This time against Zeratul. Zeratul. I mean, I know I'm the only one that's laughing about this shit, but Zeratul with his like no mouth proto setup, if he wants to insult someone, you know, it sounds like this. Oh, yeah, it's a bad joke. I can totally accept that. Nobody's laughing without me, but I still think it's funny. Okay, so level 6 is on the board. The teams are opting for level 7. The one who gets it sooner will have an advantage to go for the tribute. The first one in the game, by the way. We still have our 1 versus 1 setup top side. And down here, they're going for Zalia. At least they're trying to, but it's not really working out. Karazim is dashing out, is moving away, and there's the level 7 advantage for them now. With a Seeker in the dark and also the Boomerang. So, let's go and see what they can do with it. Blue team is trying to lock in level 7 themselves so that they can go for the even fight here. We'll see. Grenade comes through, there it is. But, come on. There we have it. First of all, we got the Feeding Frenzy in. There's the taunt. And Masquerade. Yeah, he gets out. There we go. So he gets out. Shamsik on the other hand. Run, Ulta, run. Our little lumberjack over here. A little woodchuck. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Not a lot, I think. At least not him, especially not with hit points. But let's see. They're delaying this for a long time. And the Haka is still topside and has to deal with Hogga. Dequaza is absolutely murdering him on the lane, as you can see. Down here, on the other hand, talking about murder, the 2 ports are down, both of them. Uster is still ghosting around a bit for additional heals. And the rest of the team is tapping the fountain. Can they get more? They want for the interrupt. They don't get it. But they don't lose anybody else either. Instead, they are even putting Masquerade into the driver's seat for a second to see if they can maybe force a fight. But no, not quite. So they got the first tribute. Good for them. It was a pretty big delay too. Just before the 5-minute mark. Now they're making the play for Sylvanas here. Bishops is sticking it out for a long time. He knows that Uther is coming, so he is aware that he's going to get heals. 29 stacks for Tychus, and the next tribute is already back up. Much better position for the blue team, I might add. So all the way over to the left. And, yeah, top side. They quasi... I mean, that battle is really going the way of Hogger. So the longer this lasts, the more ground Fallen is going to lose, as it seems. The entire wall is already destroyed. But at the bottom of the map, I would be a bit shocked if the red team could lock this one in. Now, they might be able to do that with level 10, but Zelia is dead. Karazim is down, so level 10 is kind of nice. We have the Sanctification, Might of the Nerazim, Shockwave, Gust, so they can delay this. They can maybe even fight this a bit more. But first of all, the level 10 abilities for the Mafia are very close too. And second of all, you don't want to fight in a 4 versus 5. You just don't want to. Now, this is a channel 2 tributes against 0. So on the objective at least, the Mafia is way ahead right now. And they're going to threaten Curse with every single additional objective from here on out. They are still behind in experience, and that's the advantage that the red team has, but they couldn't capitalize on it during the last phase. So now it's also a question of what exactly Uther is going to take as his quest. It's going to be Divine Shield or Divine Storm. The extra stun, the extra CC, or is he going to protect people? And we're going to go for the shield here. Yeah, Varian comes in. Okay, they're getting the damage out with Ultralisk though, as the Birdie is joining the battle. There's still 2 heroes on the blue team side missing, and they're not going to get them into the fight anytime soon, so they have to retreat. But they got the camp. 40 stacks for the Birdie. Falstad is stacking up on this a bit. Also 40 stacks for Tychus, so he's getting a bit more out of the duration. Now with the next tribute spawning, this is a better position for the red team, and blue team doesn't even deal with it. They're not giving a shit. They're instead just trying to get some structures destroyed at the bottom of the map with the help of Sylvanas. That's the only thing that they're aiming for. So just saying you can let this one slide. In the mid lane, X-Ray gets attacked, but that's another problem because that's a lot of time wasted on the rotation for the red team too. And since they didn't get the kill, they didn't really get anything out of it. So that's starting to become a bit problematic. Also, that fountain is... 1 hit point! Is Fallen going for it? No, he lets it slide. But boy, that is... yeah. That is held together with gum and spit. That's all there's to it. So, 2 kills, 2 kills. Next tribute will be fought over. Level 13 talents imminent for both. Dehaka at the bot lane gets attacked. He should be fine. Gets the isolation to be safe. Gets the drag in too. That's a lot of shots against Ultralisk. That's a dead Ultralisk potentially. Oh boy. They are so lucky in some of these situations. Even a Gust coming through against Uther, since Ultralisk just said, guys, I need to get the hell out of here. So that was great play by Farlander. First of all, he got ganked by 3. He's able to nearly get a counter kill and at least baits out the Gust with his play. And now they can fight for the tribute. And there's a lot of cooldowns already on... well, there's actually 2 heroic abilities on cooldown. So, Shamsing is trying. There's the interrupt. They get close enough, but Ultralisk also eats the grenade. And he's already low to begin with. The play and the kill on Hogger. Hogger is down. And guys, that's a curse. That's a curse right here. The curse is in, and boy, that top lane. Yeah, Siege Giants, and the timing on the camp is spectacular. So now they go for the bot lane fort, and they're going to take that one down. 13 talents are ready for both teams, but this is rough. And Farlander, they're trying to gank him time and time again, and it's just not working. And look at them. They're going for the bottom keep and just threaten that, and it will force a reaction. Dino is still trying to ensure that the fort at the top lane is not going to fall, but that's also going to cost him quite a bit of time, and that is time used by the Mafia to go for the bot lane battle. There's stun set up, and he barely gets the Sanctification out, but Shamsing gets killed. Yeah, there's Odin, and NOP can't use it. Top fort is still down, so they got 2 forts out of this curse already. Structurally speaking, solid. They're falling back, trying to take the boss now. Which, if they get it, is going to be a solid curse. But I feel that this is too telegraphed. And yeah, we already have the red team sniffing around the edges of that play. They know that something like this might be coming. Good move, checking the bush here. 3 kills to 3. It's a close call. It's a close one. It's really a close third map so far. Even kills, even experience. Structurally, the lead, of course. Hogger's poking it out down here. And this is still a 4 versus 5, at least for a little bit, because Uther's on the way. And he's there just in time. Just in time for the real battle. Yeah, but they're eating a ton of damage, or have already. 58 stacks for the birdie. There's the gust. X-ray. The Divine Shield is still there. They haven't used it yet. But Hogger's poking it out. Everybody is a bit low. Farlander joined the fight. Dodges out on most of the damage. They might have to Divine Shield him here. 7-sided strike also used. And boy, they hoiled so many ults back. But the bot lane battle, of course, is also including the mercenary camp that is pushing the lane. So yeah, there we have it. That's going to be a fort that gets destroyed. They still want to go for Ultralisk. I don't think they can, though. Barrel roll away, and yeah, he's too far out. At this point, I feel he could have even gone for the fly if needed. So it's 2 forts down for the red team, 1 fort down for the blue team. A play for boss, and I think they are going to respond. And yes, they do. They go for their own. So each team is going for the boss here. There's going to be one big difference, of course, once that those are locked in, because the bottom lane doesn't have a fort any longer. So the Mafia has a potential to push for keep a little bit. Yeah, nice stun against Sylvanas here. Whereas at the top side, the fort is still standing. So the fort is in, but the wall has fallen, so the fort is going to fall. And then, very likely, it's going to be the wall at the keep that stops the boss. 16 talents on both sides. Of course, there's another aspect to all of this, and that is Sylvanas. They could go for keep here. This is definitely possible to take it down. A little bit of damage, a bit of a decent play around Sylvanas, and you can take the keep. Especially, of course, if you're able to get a kill. And Tehaka is in the good position that he can global down if he wants to. So he sees Zeratul hearthing back. There's Odin already. They're sieging up on this one. They want this. They want this, and they're likely going to do a lot of damage. Can they take the entire thing, though? Gus to buy some time. I like it. Team War, they know what's at stake here. But they're losing a lot of ground. That boss is still at 50% HP. Can they take the keep? That's the question. The Mafia is... They're going for it. They have Tehaka down here now too. And it seems like it's inevitable. The keep goes down. And they're starting to retreat. The keep goes down. Top side, what's the damage? As expected, the boss is going to be stopped by the wall eventually. But the chase is on at the bottom of the map. They're trying to force a fight here. Yeah, but they also got to be really careful with Karazim. If he goes a bit too deep, then he's going to end up in the stun lock. Once you have the taunt in with X-Ray, Shamsik is going to follow up with the Uther stun, and Bishops has with the Wailing Arrow. Always an option to try and do a bit of work there as well. Help them out even more. 74 stacks on the level 4 for Tychus. So he is getting the duration up. X-Ray, yeah, Jesus, they really want him. And they are not able to get that kill. It's actually incredible how many kills were dodged by, or how many deaths were dodged out on by both teams. There was so much aggression throughout the entire game, and multiple ganks. I mean, the Haka got ganked. We had the gank against X-Ray multiple times now too. And always these little turnarounds. Top damage in the game is Falstad and Tychus. And yeah, this is kind of insane. I mean, the first keep is gone, and the Mafia, if they win this one, we're going to have an incredible battle in the top 8. Because I don't really think that anybody expected that. It's not like they're a bad team or anything. I mean, obviously they're not. But with how dominant Team WA was in the last 2 tournaments, they came in second once, they won the other. Without the Hardos, it really seemed like this is at least a grand final participation for the red team. But they got to fight for it, they got to work for it. And they are behind in the deciding game against the Mafia. So great performance by the blue team already. But it's not over yet. There's the tribute. Top control, by the way. This is a curse. If this gets locked in, it's a curse. The Haka is coming in now too. Yeah, he's trying to make his play. But the top lane gets still pressured by those Siege Giants. Ultralisk low, Ultralisk down. The Sanctification. It comes too late. Dino in trouble. He has to get out. Dequaza finds himself completely blocked in. He's not the only one. Masquerade is also in trouble. They kill against Pogga though. And now they go for Zelia. And he is dashing, but eventually he should fall here. They're trying to close the gap. Maybe he can get out. Zelia! Ah, the grenade! But the dash! Sylvanas wants him! And Zelia gets away! You fucking monster! God, this guy is good. Yeah, made all the right moves there and makes his way out of the fight. They're still half a level behind. Bosses are up in a minute and a half. We got now the top lane. Did it take some damage? Yeah, well, the gate is down. There's not really a whole lot to do on the map with the advantage that they have, but once they have level 20, then it's of course time to go for the boss. The problem is that both of the bosses are still down for another minute, and that is plenty of time to soak level 20 for the red team too. Maybe it might not work out 100%, but they should be able to contest the boss if need be. But with that extra talent, what the Mafia has in mind is dropping the fort in the mid lane. And why wouldn't they? Oh, that's a kill. Is that a kill? No way! Jesus, these saves time and time again. Really well done. So many times you look at a team fight and there's a real good CC chain and you're like, alright, that's a kill. And then somehow they still save them. They dash out, they move away from it. Obviously, the cleansing touch on level 16 for Kharazim is super helpful with all of these setups. Yeah, boss is up in 18, but as already talked about, once that we have that, we're also going to get the level 20 talent for Team 1, and it's an even playing field. But they're double checking on it still. Now, you have to also keep in mind that the next tribute is still something that the Mafia has to fight for if they want to avoid the curse. It's another threat, but here comes the team fight. Here comes the big battle. Wailing Arrow already in. They're making a play. Sanctification. Uther low and Uther is down. No Divine Shield. Had no chance to use the Divine Shield. Yeah, here comes the Mighty Gust. The red team, they got the kill, and now they move away. They know that they've just bought themselves a ticket to potentially win this game. The kill against Uther was important. The problem is that he had redemption, which I picked up real late too. He had redemption, so he is already back. And they are still fighting for this. They know that Sanctification is out. Sanctification is not available. Gust is not available any longer. They drag the taunt, the cleansing touch, the Haga low, hit the isolation. Dino is eating damage, but they're all moving out of the fight once again with nobody else dying. Yeah, Masquerade. Oh, they all get away. They're not making a play for that one. There's still a curse. Potentially up for them. The Haga comes into the mid lane. Yeah, buys them a little bit more time. And what do? They go for the boss. Why do they go for boss and not for tribute, some might ask? Well, it's simple. There's no fucking keep left. So it's a play for the core. Yeah, and Masquerade takes the curse. They're accepting this. They think they can defend this. With a curse, they say, guys, we can take this. We're 17, 18 minutes in. And, of course, the Mafia is going to try and end the game. If they can get a kill, it's lights out. If, on the other hand, they lose someone, it's a whole different ballgame. And that might... Oh, my God, that wind tunnel. There's the Divine Shield just to keep Tychus alive. Everybody's low right now. Everybody's low. And they might have to let that boss slide. So they're trading the boss for the curse. Did he see that? Oh! Dino! Shamzik realized what was happening, and Dino makes it out with the help of the Might of the Narazim. They get the drag against Tyrael. Yeah, this is getting nasty. The fort in the mid lane has fallen. God, what a game. What a third game. Plays all over the map. Honestly, that was cool from Uther. He was walking, he realized he bumped into something that he couldn't see, and he immediately realized it has to be Zeratul. So, yeah, they were able to force him to move out there. Now, again, the boss gets defeated, but the curse didn't do a lot more than getting them the fort here. So, it's more or less a trade. But that leaves us with a single boss up on the map. There's only one boss up on the map right now. They're going for the drag here. Yeah, they're double checking the bush. Top side, a little bit of a problem. One catapult needs to be taken down eventually, of course. Double camp in the map. Yeah, well, 52,000 damage by Pogger. 55 by Tychus. And Tyrael. He has Sanctification, but he jumps out. What a game. Honestly, this is perfect for a third map. I mean, think about how the series went. Game number 1, dominating performance by the Mafia. Game number 2, Team Wa bringing it back big time, making a huge statement on Towers of Doom. And now on the third map, a continuous back and forth between both teams. 20 minutes in, we have 9 kills in total. 3 against Uther, who should, by the way, have his redemption back by now. Oof. And the Globe is playing a huge role here now too. Only a single tribute. That one for the Mafia. It's all about the top boss position. Everybody's checking what's happening here. But yeah, there we go. Can they... Dino moves away. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that again. And the Haka, he's threatening the core. He wants to take those siege giants down. He's not moving in for the team yet. If he gets the catapults towards the core, that would be big. Falsat is usually the one that has to deal with it. But now they're making the play. They want to have the boss. They want to take this one. And the blue team lets it happen. Yeah, they're not making a play for it. They can't. They're a little bit too late. Are they? Maybe not. There's the Gast and there's the Steel. They get it. Well done. The Haka is there. They want to fight. They want to take this. They want to take the battle. They want to take the fight. Boss is doing what he can. Good damage. Taunt is in. Taunt against Kerosene. Dequaza. Dequaza. Oh my god. No hit points. He survives. The double kill. No fucking way. Hogga is dead. Falston is dead. What a fight. Back and forth the entire time. It's a 3 versus 3 on the map. Jesus. Calm the fuck down, boys. What a battle over here. And the boss is marching towards the keep, and this is not looking good for the top keep. Down at the bottom of the map, a single catapult, it's not going to be enough. Even with the next minion wave moving in, that core is not going to be under pressure. They have to try and defend the keep, and I don't think they can. I don't think they can. It's too late. Is it? With Zelia moving in, it should be too late. If there was no one there, I think they might be able to save the keep. But now that they have to deal with those two, I don't think it's possible any longer. Ooh, it was super close though. Dead even. Dead even. Bottom catapult seems to be the story of the bot lane. This is just stuck over here. But eventually someone is going to move back. The funny thing here is that it was the red team that locked in the tribute. 7 kills to 7, level 22, 22 minutes into the game. Catapults are falling down here. And, well, yeah, now they're pushing this one back. The position is already taken. Look at the stacks for Falstead. 100 stacks for him. Where's his damage? He's sitting at 50,000. He has 165,000 siege damage. Boss is back up in 25 seconds. 25 seconds on this bad boy. And of course, it's the same play again. If you take the boss now, 22 minutes into the game, it's more or less over. Yeah, this is going to be the focus point for this entire game. And with Gust and Sanctification, plus 7-sided Strike and Shockwave, whew, talked about a stacked deck in favor of Team Wow. Unless the fight is decided beforehand, it's not going to go well. So they go for the camp. Already get zoned out a bit. The Haka is still at the top. The Haka is still at the top. Pushing out the lane. Yeah, he needs to come back down here. The Mighty Gust is being used. And the Haka came down. The Haka is actually in the bush here. They double checked, they heard. But now that's 1 ult on cooldown. That's actually 1 ult already in cooldown. They can go for boss now. And they're going to try and make that play. They know that they're now only up against Sanctification. But oh boy, this is a bit of, I mean, it's not really a Hail Mary. This is pretty much, this is the deciding move. If the boss gets taken by the blue team, it's over. They win. If on the other hand, the red team locks it in and wins the team fight, then we're talking about a completely different story here. Another curse potentially up for the team in red. Dive into the back line. Isolation is in. The contagion has connected. Can they take the boss? Masquerade, Sanctification, it's all in. Uther down. He had his 20. And they're losing the fight, aren't they? The shockwave. Masquerade is dead. The explosion. The explosion. The explosion. And the 7-sided strike. They are going for the 5-man team wipe, and this is game. They played the gamble. They gambled big time. They knew what they were up against, and they said, guys, we can still win the fight. And no, not like this. Sanctification on the point, 7-sided strike to follow it up. The shockwave, everything perfectly timed by the red team, and they win an incredible semi-final series against the flipping Mafia. Team Wa with another grand final slot. Nicely done, well played. GG, what a game here on Cursed Hollow to decide the series.